friends. I'm Meredith Graves with MTV News, and I'm here with record breaker, Webster Hall secret show player, vegan disavourer, Ed Sheeran.
How you doing?
You have sold out 200, 300 capacity venues all over the world on tours across the planet, and now your new album, which just came out last Friday, right? Divide, has already broken how many records?
Mate, you've probably got it written down somewhere. I don't know.
Well,
you got anything written? No.
I
know there's a Spotify record we broke, but that's about it.
A couple of them. It was the biggest
cool
first day.
The cool one for me is in the UK top 10. We have 9 songs in there at the moment, which is quite exciting. It's like the Billboard Hot 100. It's like having 9 in the top 10.
Yeah, and your first #1 for the Billboard Top 100 too.
It is, yeah.
So all of this leads me to ask, in the very first song on Divide, it's a very vulnerable piece of writing that you do about almost like the pressure that you maybe feel to always be happy about how much success you've achieved. Is there a flip side of that? Is there a lot that you feel people don't know about what it's really like to be such a famous
Do you know
touring
what?
musician?
Like I wrote that song just because I thought the album needed a song like that. But I actually like. There's not a lot wrong with being a successful musician. It's actually quite a fun job. I think, you know, like I felt that way at some point and wrote it, but I actually don't like it when people complain. That's why in the song I said nobody wants to see you down in the dumps because you live in your dream. This shit should be fun, and that you know, we are all living our dreams and it's fun. But just now and then, like in any job, there are downsides to it, and sometimes you wake up and you're like, oh, but like it's best not to dwell on it.
And the world can really use a lot of positivity right now, and I feel like a lot of kids are turning to musicians either for advice about the current global climate, like the general political timbre of things, or quite the opposite, for like escape and for comfort from the world around them. Which do you feel like your fans err on the side of?
I don't know, because I have quite a wide, diverse range of fans, but I think as a artist and musician with a platform, you should speak about things that are important to you, and that you can speak about in an educated way, you know. Because if I stand on a pedestal and go, war is bad, people would be like, oh, but actually, you know, like there's this and this and this, and that. You have to like be well educated to speak on points like that. So with, you know, something like the climate change thing, someone like Leo doing that documentary is a well-educated view on it, and people are like, oh, cool, I actually understand what he's saying. So I usually like wait till I'm educated on something before I speak on it, because otherwise people will pick holes in it.
Sure, and when you're in the public eye like you are, a lot of people do kind of tend to pick holes in you and look to your lyrics and say, you know, because you're a singer-songwriter, because you're so vulnerable on stage, like you're there with your guitar and your feelings are all out there, people really do assume that everything you write is very personal. Are all or most of the songs on Divide like taken from your life? Are they really deeply personal?
95% of them. The only one that isn't is Galway Girl, and that was because, you know, I was in studio with a fantastic traditional Irish band for 5 days, and I've done a bunch of songs with them, and I had like another day and a half with no songs to do, so I wrote a song so we could record another one. So I kind of like just wrote about Irish shit.
#1 in Ireland too, right?
And England now, yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Now, Ireland wasn't the only place you went for inspiration on this album, right? You were writing for a while in Ghana?
I went to Ghana.
How was that?
Amazing. I recommend it. It's such a wonderful country. Great culture, great people, great food, great music. Just lots of dancing. It was wicked.
Now, one thing you do talk a lot about on Divide, very, very openly, is love. Love and heartbreak. These are really relatable themes that a lot of your fans, I'm sure, can get behind, no matter what their specific situation may be. A lot of the songs are about heartbreak, too. As you start playing bigger shows, I mean, you're touring through 2019, right? Like, you're getting so much love from these huge audiences every single night, and from small ones like the one at Webster Hall. Is it harder to write sad love songs, songs about heartbreak, when you get so much love every night on stage?
I don't know, really. I think it's 2 different things. I don't think there's much heartbreak on this album. I think that's more the album before. And I just think, I don't know, I write songs about how I feel, and if an audience makes me feel something, I'll write a song about it, I think. I don't know really.
I feel like it's almost a very radical position to be a man in the arts world who is so open with talking about your feelings. Do you think that's kind of uncanny these days?
Yeah, I don't know. People have been kind of doing it for a while. I guess men talk about that. Men just don't talk about their feelings to men. I think we talk about our feelings to our significant others, though. Yeah.
And to your guitar.
And to my guitar, yeah.
Speaking of
Hello, mate.
Speaking of guitars, my mom is a high school principal, and she was so excited when I told her I was interviewing you, because she couldn't wait to tell her students, and she said,
Hey, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Ed says hi. She said,
Call me.
now I saw him on Ellen, and he gave his guitar to a boy. And I said, yeah, that seems really nice. She said, you've never done anything like that.
So are you going to give me your guitar now?
I can give you my guitar.
Did you actually bring your guitar?
No, but I can.
So that was all, you were just lying when you said you could give me your guitar?
I'm nothing if not a giant liar. You caught me.
Mum, what have you done?
Where did the charitable urge come from? How do you really connect with your fans?
Well,
when you're in
that was just Ellen showing me a video of this kid. And we have loads of guitars. I brought out my own guitar for charity with Martin. So we've got like loads of fucking guitars. So when I was, she showed me the video of the kid, and usually like, if I've got a guitar on me or a spare, I'll usually give it to, if someone's like a passionate musician, I'll be like, here, have my guitar, because we've got loads of them. And I think it's cool to someone be like, this was actually Ed's guitar. You know, if someone gave me their guitar, I'd be like, oh, this is cool. Yeah.
Yeah, you immediately kind of want to pick it up and write a song.
Yeah,
in tribute.
and I was like, to him, I was just like, make sure you play it every day. I've actually written on the guitar, make sure you play this every day.
That's incredible. So he could write a song for you, just like you have written so many wonderful songs for other musicians. You've worked, with Justin Bieber, and I'm under the impression there were songs that ended up on Divide that were originally written for other artists.
No, Shape of You got started off with Rihanna in mind, but it didn't get finished with Rihanna in mind. It was definitely like, okay, I'm going to finish this for my record.
So inspired by Rihanna, previously you've also covered Nina Simone live. Are there a lot of female vocalists who have been interpreted by you into your own work, your own vocal delivery?
Yeah, I think, like I grew up listening to like Joni Mitchell. I think Beyonce's phenomenal, obviously. Aretha Franklin's just, yeah, great. And I don't know, really like Alison Krauss as well. I love that Casey Musgraves album.
And a lot of the male vocalists that you've worked with, writing and collaboratively, have been really great too. I really want to know what it was like to work with Stormzy on the remix for Shape of You. How was that? And I know that Major Lazer did a remix of it too, correct?
Yeah, both of them was quite cool. The Stormzy one happened. I think everyone in America should know about Stormzy. Look up Stormzy. He's good. It's with a Z. Look him up. It just happened. He came around and we were eating chicken, and he mentioned there was a Brit Awards performance with Florence the Machine and Dizzy Rascal, and the Brit Awards was coming up, and he was like, "Oh, wasn't that like iconic?" And I was like, "Yeah, we should do that." And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah," and then we did it.
Sometimes it can
That's such a
just be
boring
as
story,
simple
isn't it?
as that.
Such a
No,
boring
it's not a
story.
boring story at all. And between Stormzy and Dizzy Rascal and a lot of the sounds you're hearing on Divide, I mean, you kind of have always tranced between genres, but it seems like a lot of people are starting to notice how you can bounce inspirations between one song and the next, one song and the next. You came up playing sometimes in hip-hop clubs too. And with the great sort of like UK tradition of King Cruel and The Streets and other British artists who've sort of extrapolated
Yeah, cool.
I like the rap music.
Woof.
People who interpret rap and hip hop into non-traditional genres, who were the big influences for that in your life? Who were the rappers that made you want to start interpreting that in your own songs?
I mean, there's a load of UK rappers that you would have never heard of, but I guess Eminem was the first like rapper that I think any kid in England got into. Yeah.
And you've also spoken about his influence in your life in terms of how it affected you personally, right? When it came to your childhood.
Yeah, like I had a stammer when I was younger, and I did all that speech therapy bullshit, and it didn't work. And then I got over it by rapping Eminem songs because he's fast.
Yeah. And now, of course, with the sort of world looking at UK grime, you have a lot of other fast rappers to work with too.
A lot of fast rappers to work with, yeah. It's sort of slowing down though. Like it's either because grime's like a certain tempo. You either rap half speed to it or double speed. So it's yeah, interesting.
So you and Skepta are definitely going to do an album together soon.
Me and Skepta have worked together before, yeah. I've known him for a very, very long time. He's fantastic, very talented.
Yeah, his record last year was really, really
Yeah,
incredible.
really,
It was
really great.
Really good.
Really great.
So,
Actually, it was like I was in Toronto and like they played nothing but Skepta tracks in a club, and it was cool to go over to a place not England and hear loads of English music.
yeah, and the tie between OVO in Toronto with Drake and Boy Better Know over there, that means that you could end up
Let's
on the
go.
OVO festival. I
Yeah,
just
what's
like
going
rap
on?
music a
Yeah,
lot.
my
We have a
girl.
lot to talk about.
This is cool. I came on MTV thinking it would be like MTV questions, and you're talking about like Boy Better Know and stuff. I like it.
We have a good time here.
I owned a Boy Better Know shirt when I was 15.
Really?
Yeah.
So that was like 2 weeks ago?
No, 11 years ago. Boy Better Know been going for a
happy
while.
belated birthday, by the way.
Thank
That
you
was
very
just
much.
a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, 26 now.
What did you do to celebrate besides put out a chart-smashing album and organize a world tour?
I rented a country house in the Cotswolds and invited like 12 of my mates there. And it was way too big for us, and we had it. We had it.
Now, personal question of interest, real quick. You said you rented a country house, but I'm under the impression you like have a farm, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna throw a party in my house though. Fuck that. Especially with my mates. My mates are like, yeah, my schoolmates are a bit rowdy.
Besides your love of cats, which is well documented, and I've looked at the wonderful pictures of your floppy cat on Instagram, do you have animals, vegetables? Do you grow flowers? Do you have like farm life
I've got
poppin'?
otters. I've got hedgehogs. Actually, the otters are funny because I bought some koi fish. Do you know about them? K-O-I?
The big orange guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like spent a bit of money on these koi fish because I was like, I want like nice fish for my pond. And then this otter like obviously has some very expensive tastes and ate all of them. So then we bought some more koi fish for the otter. So now this otter lives there and it's just sitting there smoking a cigar.
Yeah,
Living
the
expensive
otter's
life.
developed a taste for like.
But yeah, I've got herons, barn owls. Got a bunch of stuff. It's a cool environment to be in.
That sounds like an inspiring place to write too.
Certainly, yeah. Well, the whole album was done there.
Right, and I have to imagine there's a surplus of that. Are you playing any non-album hits on this upcoming really long tour? And what's going on with the tour? Where can people see you over the next year?
I don't know. I was at America at some point. I think I'm here June onwards. I have no idea. No one tells me anything because I have like this not filter where if you ask me a question, I'll be like, yeah, it's this date. And like, so people have just stopped telling me stuff because I say everything that everyone ever tells me. I just don't have any filter. So I don't know, but I will be touring. But I can't announce it, obviously.
Well, before we let you go, we asked some MTV News followers on Twitter if they had any fan questions for you.
Cool.
I just want to run a few by you.
I'm in.
So, at Mandy14Brown wants to know, what is your favorite song on Divide and why?
At the moment, it's Hearts Don't Break around here, and I don't really have a reason for it. I think it's because no one else, everyone's like freaking out about every other track apart from that one, and I'm like, it's kind of like my forgotten about uncool kid that I'm like trying to get to play with the other kids, I think.
No, it's very special too, I
know,
promise.
like, come on, like, he's cool too. Yeah, I think that's why. So anytime anyone asks me that, I'm like, Hearts Don't Break around here, because hopefully that will become someone else's track, and then I'll have another weird child to help out.
At 5hair, I believe this is supposed to be share, on point, what song was the hardest to release and share with us?
Galway Girl, actually. Galway Girl. Because, like, everyone at my record label were like, this is a really uncool song, folk music will age you, you can't put this out. And I was like, folk music, like, everyone likes folk. Like, who doesn't like a good old schwally jig? Everyone. Well, not everyone, but, like, quite a lot of people do. And I was just convinced that it would work, and it was just really hard to get it on. And now it's come out, and it's now, like, doing all right. So
Like, haha, you jerks, folk music is awesome. Yeah,
folk music is
exactly.
awesome, and I guarantee in 2 or 3 years' time, the same label will say you shouldn't put that on the album. We'll sign a folk band. I guarantee it. It's going to happen.
Maybe it'll be the same band.
Do you
And
know what? Actually, that wouldn't be a shit idea. That wouldn't be a shit idea. Sign that band and get them to do features. That'd be pretty fucking cool.
it
Maybe I
can
should
be
do
like
that.
the Commitments 2018 film version.
Yeah, or when Mark Ronson did an album and he had like different features and everything, but just a folk jam. Imagine Drake on a folk jam, that'd be quite cool.
Ed Sheeran and Drake's Folk Jams 2020, which is maybe when you'll have some free time, right?
Yeah, I don't think Drake's going to want to do a folk album.
You never know. Last question. At LYJDK wants to know, this must be hard, favorite artist or band of all time?
Van Morrison.
Van Morrison?
Van Morrison,
Van
yeah.
Morrison.
There's just so much stuff out there. There's stuff like, there's albums that you can't even buy anywhere that exist that I haven't heard yet, that just exists somewhere, and you have to find like a vinyl from like the 70s that like, there's just so much stuff out there.
Some
and
like
it's also,
lathe cut.
yeah, well I bought,
bootleg or something.
I bought, my favorite one of his albums is an album called Irish Heartbeat, and they've just released it on iTunes. And the only version I had on it was my dad's tape cassette from ages ago that I had to like rip in a very weird way. Like I had to get a tape machine, put it in a recording studio, play it into the record. Like it was a whole thing. So now it's on iTunes, but yeah, Van Morrison.
The things we do for love. So that's for any of your fans out there that may never listen to Van Morrison, that's the record that you'd recommend?
Basically anything you like about me comes from him. So you're going to really like him.
Well, thank you for sharing some time with us today.
Thank you.
Congratulations again on the incredible record-breaking release of Divide. Any last words, sign-offs for your fans out there in the world?
Thanks for tuning in.
I can double that. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Ed Sheeran. We are
MTV News. Thought we planned that, didn't we?
No, we should have though.
Yeah.